Pasta comes in an unlimited number of shapes and sizes. It has made a heavy impact on many cultures, and each culture created a unique way to serve it. This meal, made from durum wheat, which grows in specific climates, dates back to early centuries where ancient civilizations served it quite differently than the modern way. On top of this, scientists are still forming new varieties and hope to create a whole new type of pasta for the future. In contrast to many beliefs, noodles did not originate in Italy. In fact, archaeologists believe that Central Asia is most likely the first area to have produced noodles thousands of years ago. Asia, however, created the noodles with different ingredients. In the 13th century, Marco Polo traveled to China and kept a journal of his findings. He discovered China's noodles and wrote about them. He brought this journal back to Italy, and they decided to take the original noodles and alter them using durum wheat. The classic pasta we know today is composed of this wheat. The durum wheat was important for its long-lasting capability and high gluten component. Over time, pasta has become a significant meal to many countries. Dry pasta was especially important to other cultures for its easy accessibility and cheap value. This made it easier for production, and the use of durum wheat made it taste better as well. By the 1400s, dry pasta was very popular for its nutrition and long shelf value, making it ideal for long-ship voyages. Pasta made it around the globe as a result of these voyages. At the time, cereals were the most popular choice of pasta. This includes orzo, because it was the easiest to store, access, and cook. However, after a while, the norms for eating pasta changed, and the people started making different kinds in various creative ways. The people of northern Italy began to eat risotto, polenta, and egg pasta. The ancient Romans even tossed it with a fish paste and stuffed it in pies. In short, pasta has come a long way, dating back to ancient times. Before the human race existed and agriculture became a concept, durum wheat was mainly in two geographic basins, the Mediterranean plains and the northern plains between the United States and Canada. This wheat thrived on dry land and moist soil. Dating back to 4.5 billion years ago, when the Earth was created from the accretion of a solar nebula, the debris of particles were pulled in by a new center of gravity and formed a sphere, which later became the Earth. Because of this specific shape, energy from the sun wasn't able to reach the planet at the same intensity. For example, at the poles, the light is stretched out over more land due to its position, but at the equator, the sunlight is more direct. This means that the closer a location is to the equator, the more likely it is to be warmer. Global winds also carry low-pressure systems from the North Pole. This leads to a drier atmosphere in these areas, which durum wheat thrives on. If it hadn't been for the wheat growing in the Mediterranean plains, it is likely that we wouldn't have the classic pasta that we have today. In modern periods, pasta was continued to be altered, mostly with how it was served. The next big advancement in the history of pasta would not come until the 18th century when pasta met tomatoes. It took a long time for this to happen because tomatoes were not considered to be edible for so long. In fact, there was a widespread rumor in Europe that the plant itself was poisonous. It wasn't until 1839 when the first pasta recipe with tomato sauce was documented. When people first started eating this new combination, it wasn't unusual for them to eat it with their hands. After a while, they decided that this was inadequate and decided to make a new alternation to forks to make it easier to eat. In simpler words, forks had already been invented, but the Italians decided to make a new version of it to make it easier to eat pasta with sauce. Scientists have a new thing in store to add to classic pasta. MIT researchers have created flat sheets of pasta that bounce back to its infamous 3D shape when in water. This idea is extremely convenient because it makes it easier to store, and it would take up less room in the sense that manufacturers will be able to fit more of these flat sheets into a box as opposed to the 3D pasta. This invention has already been created, but researchers are still tweaking it to get the perfect taste they want. Pasta, made from durum wheat, has changed the lives of many people and cultures. It dates back to ancient civilizations and has been changing ever since, and it will continue to do so in the future.